Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. When we talk about OET speaking, we should not forget about this lexis, especially under this linguistic criteria. What do you mean by lexis? It is the vocabulary you choose. In healthcare, you need to adjust your language depending on who you are speaking to. Try to use simple, clear language for patients who may not understand complex medical terms. Here is an example where the nurse uses technical language with a confused patient. Your MRI showed signs of degenerative disc disease, which is a type of spondylosis. We'll need to proceed with a course of physical therapy and possibly consider lumbar injections. The nurse here is using medical terms like degenerative disc disease and lumbar injections, which might sound intimidating or unclear to a patient who is unfamiliar with healthcare jargon. So, this can create confusion or anxiety. The same scenario, but this time the nurse adjusts the vocabulary to make it simpler for the patient. Let's see that. Your scan shows some wear and tear in your back. It's common as we get older. We'll start with physical therapy to help with the pain, and I'll explain other options if needed. In this case, the nurse uses much simpler language. Instead of overwhelming the patient with technical terms, they have explained the situation in a way that's very easy to understand, which helps the patient to reduce their anxiety. When you are using the words with patient, you need to use a different terminology. And if it's with your colleague or in the healthcare setting, then you can use the same medical terminologies because they'll be more aware of that. Why we need to be careful with the words? Is there any reason? Think of it. The part of the reason is to match the register and the tone of a conversation. But the other part is simply to ensure the patient understands you. That is, by choosing words that would be more familiar to them. The next one is technical matters to ensure understanding. Lastly, when you're explaining technical matters like how to use an inhaler or manage diabetes, it's essential to break things down into simple steps and ensure that your patient understands. Here is an example where the nurse skips key explanation, assuming the patient knows how to use the inhaler. Just press the inhaler and breathe in deeply. That's all you need to do. Do you think is this the right way to do that? No. Here, the nurse explanation is rushed and leaves out key details. The patient might not fully grasp how to use the inhaler correctly, which can lead to improper use and ineffective treatment. Now, let's see a clear and thorough explanation. First, shake the inhaler and take the cap off. Place the inhaler in your mouth, breathe out gently, and then press the inhaler while taking a slow, deep breath in. Hold your breath for a few seconds before exhaling. Does that make sense? Here, the nurse clearly breaks down the steps, checking with the patient to make sure they understand. So, this reduces confusion and ensures proper use of the medication. So, whether you're choosing the right register, adjusting your tone, picking the right words, or explaining technical matters, the key to great healthcare communication is the appropriateness of language. Keep things professional but friendly. Show empathy with your tone and ensure your words are clear and understandable. The next one is resources of grammar and expression. When you're preparing for the speaking test, remember this: clear, professional communication is not just about what you say, but how you say it. The focus is on two key things. One is the range, and second one is accuracy. When we talk about range, it tells the variety of grammar and the vocabulary you use. And when it comes to accuracy, how correct your grammar and word choices are. So let's break these down so you are fully prepared to impress those assessors. The first one is range. The range means having options, like different ways to express your ideas naturally and confidently. Here's how you can maximize your range. The first one is grammar variety. You will need to demonstrate flexibility by using different tenses, conditionals. When we say about different tenses like present tense, future tense, say for example, I understand you have been experiencing this for a while, and let's talk about how we can manage it moving forward. And use conditionals. Use if to discuss possibilities. Example, if you take your medication regularly, you will notice improvement in a week. And use models, advice, instructions, and possibilities. Example, you should rest for 24 hours, or we can explore other options if this doesn't work. And try to use vocabulary range to sound professional yet approachable. Use language suitable for the context. Start conversations. How have you been feeling lately? Ask questions like, can you describe the discomfort you're feeling? You need to offer recommendations. I would suggest drinking plenty of water, taking short walks. Got it? Now imagine this scenario. You are a nurse advising a patient with diabetes about lifestyle changes. Instead of sticking to textbook phrases, mix it up. If you are saying you need to eat healthy food, no, that's not the right way. Talk like, let's talk about your diet. Adding vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains can really help stabilize your sugar levels. Does that sound manageable? Here, in this example, you are showing range by being specific, conversational, and engaging. And when we are talking about accuracy, now variety is great, right? But it only works if your grammar and vocabulary are correct. Accuracy is all about using the right words for the context. Ensure your grammar doesn't confuse the patient. I'm going to tell you how to practice accuracy. The first one is subject verb agreement. Make sure your sentence match in number and tense. For example, the medication works well. So you know that like whenever we talk about the subject, it should agree with the verb and the verb should agree with the subject. So remember that subject verb agreement. And correct word forms. Use the right part of speech. Example, if you say, this will positively impact your health. No, that's wrong, right? The word forms are not correct. So, how you should say, this will positively impact your health. Got it? Another example, imagine you're explaining a treatment plan to a patient recovery from surgery. So, if you're saying as, you must follow the exercises for fast recovery, do you think this sounds good? No. Instead, you should say, you must follow these exercises carefully to speed up your recovery. If any cause discomfort, stop and inform me. So, here the accurate use of these exercises carefully and speed up makes your message clear and professional. Let's see some of the do's and don'ts for OET speaking. Use a mix of formal and informal expressions where appropriate. For instance, we are here to figure this out together can make a patient feel at ease because you're showing empathy and you are informing the patient that you are there for them to support. Vary your phrases in two role plays. For example, start one with good morning, how can I help you today? And another role play with I understand you're facing some challenges. Let's work it together. Adjust your tone based on patient needs because you need to know the patient's emotional state. So kindly adjust your tone. And please do not use idioms more. If they don't fit naturally, leave them out. Do not use overly complex vocabulary just to sound fancy because simplicity and clarity win every time. And the last one is don't repeat the same phrases across role plays. I hope you liked this video. Kindly like, share, and subscribe for more OAT tips. See you in the next video. Bye bye.